How's it going, everybody? It's Sean Bowker with Coldwell Banker Residential Brokerage out here on Long Island. Today I'm here to talk to you about auction websites. Now, I've had a lot of questions about properties that are up for auction, my opinions on property auctions, whether they're the best way to get a job, in my case it would be a job, a home sold, or a property sold, and whether or not auctions are worth it, and then secondary to that, auction websites. So, the examples of auction websites would be HUBZone.com and auction.com. There's a bunch of others, but we'll dive into that in a little bit. So basically, do I think that auctions are a good way to sell a house? Well, yes and no. The way that I look at it, when we list a home, we're basically putting a home up for auction. Now, we'll list a home for a year. So we have a lot of time to get the home marketed, and we put out a lot of effort to get the best buyers in for that home. Now, we like to say that the best time that the house is going to sell is within the first 30 days. That's when you're going to get the people who were on the market already searching to come in and look at what is new on the market, which would be the newly listed home, and those are going to be your best offers. But that is not true for all cases. A lot of homes in different markets, say the million plus market or the short sale market in different markets, they may sit on the market for quite some time. For the million plus market, it's easy that we see homes that are on the market for over a year, years in fact. The higher up you go, the smaller the pyramid becomes. There's less people. So, depending on the market, there definitely could be a good opportunity to auction the home. But with that said, what is listing a home? We put the home on the market, and we have people come in day after day, and they can place bids. They can put offers on the house. So that's not an auction. That's just what we do, but it sounds a lot similar to an auction. Think about it. An open house, we have multiple people come in, and we may have multiple offers come in the same day. Now, we're not sitting there like saying, oh, 150, now we're at 160, 160, 160, 170. We don't do that whole bit. But we do communicate with all of the players involved. The thing is, they don't need to all be there at the same exact time, the same date. What if the person who is going to give you the highest and best offer for your house couldn't make it to the auction that day? Oh, well, they can phone in, right? No. They might be there next month. They might be there 2 months from now. And when I say they might be there next month or 2 months from now, I mean they might not be looking to buy a house right now. So it's in your best interest not to do an auction. So, I'm not saying that all homes shouldn't be auctioned. There are some homes in the lower markets that might be the best option to be auctioned if you have the right company doing the auction and you get the right kind of word out there to the right people. But other than that, for most people, most scenarios, big and small homes, auctions don't make sense. Now let's talk about auction websites. Basically, there are there's really three, but we'll talk about the first two types of auction websites. Now, the first type of auction website is a legitimate auction website. This is through a legitimate auction company or an auction-style broker. And there's also the government surplus auction website. Government surplus auction websites are in every state, every county, even the federal government has an auction website for surplus land, vehicles, and other things. I personally am a member of a few of these auction websites around the country, and I get frequent updates monthly, bi-monthly, every 2 months, depending on where it is. You get some really good deals on land and houses that were government surplus, and I do believe that for these types of land, seeing as they are government owned, this may be the best option to get them sold and in most cases resold back into the market. My light just went out because I've been sitting in the car and the battery's trying to save energy. But basically, the second type that I'm here to talk to you about today is the websites like auction.com and HUBZone.com. Now, this is where I actually had a client who asked me a question about whether or not I felt that these were good websites to be looking for real estate or sales for real estate. And when I say sales, I mean sales from your perspective. Is it a good deal? And the answer is unequivocally no. These auction websites are actually never a good deal. And you say to yourself, why isn't it a good deal? Well, the reason it's not a good deal is the way that they get their listings. That's what I would say. The way that they get their marketing material, the way that they get their properties to the site. So how does that happen? Basically, every single home that you see on that website is already in contract. Now, what does that mean? Now, if you don't know what in contract means, ask your local agent, but I'll give you a brief synopsis. Basically, in contract means that a broker or agent like myself listed a home. After that home was listed, in this case particular being short sales and REOs, the property was marketed for months, many months at sometimes, and then multiple offers came in. The best offer was chosen, the person with the best credit history or the best, down payment or whatever the reason is. Out of all the offers that were on the table, they chose the best of those offers, and then they wrote up a legal document, signed it, and said, we're going to try and sell this house, that being the buyer and the person who wants to buy it. And they're like, we're going to sell it. We're going into contract. Here's our commitment date. This is the date that we want to move in, or for most investors, get to work. And that is when these properties go on to the websites like HUBZone and auction.com. Basically, third-party banks, we'll call them, buy the loans from the bigger banks like Chase, AIG, yeah, I know, Bank of America, and they buy these properties from them either because they could not sell them on their own, or they could not retrieve the funds, or they couldn't properly short sale it. So, again, companies like Ocwen's one of the biggest right now, at least in my area for this. They will then take that property that is in contract, so that means the seller of the house and the buyer of the house submitted the paperwork to the bank, and then the bank then put the property onto the website. So, let's go back. Is it a good deal for you? No. Why is it not a good deal? Because you need to pay more than that other person who's already slated to buy the house is going to pay in order to get the house. And with that, you need to make it worth their while to knock that other person out of the game. So, for instance, say the house is worth $150,000 and the person is looking to buy it for $150,000. Do you think that you're going to come in with $151,000 and knock that person out of the market? Absolutely not. Why? Because, one, the auction websites, you're looking at a web page. You're not looking at the property. You don't know anything about the property. And we don't know if you're qualified. So they need to take their time to try and qualify you, to get you down to the property, to do all this stuff. And $151,000 is not going to knock the $150 offer off the table. $155 might not do it. $160 still may not do it. $165 maybe. But they're going to hit you with fees on top of that. So say you pay $165, you might get hit with $10,000 in fees that you then need to pay this company to, on top of all the other fees, the taxes, the liens, anything else that you may need to pay off on the property, brokerage fees, commissions. You're going to need to pay extra money to this other company. So, are you getting a good deal? Well, you tell me. House is worth $150. Somebody's already in contract to buy it at $150. You may be paying closer to $200 at the end of the day. So, do you think that's a good deal? Probably not, because I don't think it's a good deal either. And that's just how these people operate. Well, I say people, these companies operate. So it's really up to you. If you want to use these websites, by all means be my guest, but know that the property that you're looking at is already being sold to somebody else, and that you're not going to get it for the best price. My suggestion for you in the future, if you want a good deal on a particular type of property in a particular area, talk to a local agent. When that agent finds something that pops up onto the market, he'll let you know, she'll let you know, and then you can be the first person with your foot in the door before it's been on the market for months and is already in contract to be sold, and then goes on to one of these auction websites. So that's all for today. If you have any questions or comments, please put them below. Email me if you have anything. If you know anybody who's been looking at auction websites, send them this video. Hopefully it can get something going with them, and they can start working with an agent to get an actual good deal. If you're an investor looking to buy anything in the New York area, give me a call. And as always, have a good day. Look forward to talking to you guys soon.